We are 48 schools across 14 cities, but together we are one Shawnee mission, and this is our time to shine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Shawnee Mission Mic'd Up. My name is Dr. Michelle Hubbard, and I am the host.
And I'm Dr. Jeremy Higgins, co-host of the show. We very much thank everyone for listening in today and watching in. Glad that you are here. A quick recap from episode 4. So we were honored to have Michelle Tapko join us on episode 4 of Shawnee Mission Mic'd Up. She was the Region 3 nominee for Kansas Teacher of the Year, and we had talked about through the episode that there was a pretty big event that was taking place. Dr. Hubbard, how'd things turn out?
It was so amazing to attend that event, as you see just all of these educators from across the state that are just so awesome. And Dr. Watson, the Commissioner of Education in Kansas, made this comment, and it just really resonated with me. He talked about, we always talk about them as the 8 finalists, and all this hype around the finalists. And he goes, I don't know why we do that, because ultimately they're all winners. They're all these amazing winners from across the state. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And, I talked to Michelle after the winner was from Olathe, and he was just a very dynamic middle school teacher. So congratulations to our neighbors next door to have that Kansas Teacher of the Year. But Michelle did such an awesome job on her speech. And I also was able to sit at the table with Sarah Starforth, who was our elementary finalist or winner from Shawnee Mission. And it's just fun to have those conversations with such amazing educators at the table. So I really enjoyed the event.
Good. Well, and it's, I'm sure, well, maybe Michelle wasn't relieved. I know we had talked about she might have to have 2 speeches, and she had to give one, but then have a backup one. But her speech went well.
Her speech was great, and she was actually really funny. No one would be surprised by that. She was really funny. Her speech was great, and I was so proud to be there to represent her and really cheer her on.
Yeah, well, Michelle, you're still a winner in all of the hearts of Shawnee Mission.
Absolutely.
So, and we look forward to this process next year, and hopefully we've got another nominee and another finalist to go down and represent Shawnee Mission again.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So this episode, let's dive in a little bit and talk about this episode of Shawnee Mission Mic'd Up.
So I'm really excited about this episode. We're going to be talking about fall activities, and most importantly, we're going to be focusing on our 5 high schools and the activities they have really to just build this amazing culture. And it's just fun to watch each high school and how differently the culture is and different traditions they have. And so I think today we're going to be talking specifically about parades and homecoming events and pep assemblies and just overall school spirit and what that means to a high school.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head that each of the 5 buildings, the 5 high schools is they're different. They all have their own culture, their own climate, their own community, and these fall activities and they really serve as that kickoff for the year and really can help build the momentum of the school year and have a really big impact on the school culture and not only the culture in the school, but also that community feel and bringing everyone in. So I know that it kicked off with Lancer Day this year, which obviously, I spent 10 years at East, so I got to be part of a lot of Lancer Days. That is quite the event, to say the least, and one that really not only highlights the school, but talk about the entire community getting behind that event. It is, it's crazy to see the number of people that show up for that.
It really is, and it's fun. I missed the Lancer Day Parade this year, but I'm guessing you went back and...
It's always great to be a Lancer. It's always good to go back and see that event. It's really nice, I will say, to see it from this side, to not have to be part of planning it or supervising it or anything like that. But it's a great event, and the number of parents that show up and elementary kids and middle school kids that turn out to be part of Lancer Day. The weather was great. It never rains on Lancer Day, so it was a great event.
So I will tell you, as a high school principal, it's one of my all-time favorite things is just to see high school kids taking responsibility. And I mean, it's not easy to organize a club and organize a float. And sometimes they fail, right? And learn from that. And then sometimes there's these amazing floats or groups of kids doing just great things. But as a high school principal, it's great, but it's also extremely stressful. So I just want to give a big shout out to our high school principals and associate principals and athletic directors and club sponsors that take so much time and energy and really to support those kids.
Yeah, and I think that's a great lead in to bringing our guests in with us because, we've got a couple students and they really take the lead on all of this.
Absolutely.
And so I think it'd be great to talk with them about the planning process and everything that goes into pulling off one of these parades.
Welcome, ladies. We're so glad you're here joining us today. We have, again, representatives from Shawnee Mission South and Shawnee Mission Northwest. And I'm just going to ask each of them to tell us a little bit about what brought them here today and just a little bit of their backgrounds from Shawnee Mission. So, Jewel, you want to start?
Yeah, my name is Jewel. I go to Shawnee Mission South, and I went to Trailwood for elementary school and Indian Woods for middle school, and I am a junior class representative in student council.
Awesome. Okay.
And my name is Natalia Ramirez. I'm a senior at Northwest, and I went to Beddinghoven and Mill Creek Elementary School, and then I went to Trowbridge Middle School, and I'm here because I am a Spirit Club co-president.
That is awesome. Well, thanks for joining us and taking time out of your day to come and spend some time on Shawnee Mission Mic'd Up.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
You
thank
bet.
you.
So, parades at the high schools. Obviously, there is a lot of work that goes into that. And obviously, the both of you are probably heavily involved with that. So I would like to just know first off and hear a little bit about the planning process for this parade. What all goes into it? How long ago did you guys start? Just give us a little, give our listeners a little sense on how much work goes into pulling this event off. So Natalia, you want to start?
Okay. Yeah, so the first beginning few months of school are like really stressful because we have like assemblies and events like back to back. So our last event was bonfire, and then straight like exactly 30 days later was the event of the parade. And so we have like a little bit less than a month, but it is very stressful. But thankfully you have like other people with you to help manage that stress. And basically in class we just like grind every day. And it is a little bit hard to like get stuff done quickly, but we try to get it done as fast as we can.
Awesome.
So, Jewel, would you say the same thing? Would you echo her thoughts?
Yes, it is. There's a lot of planning that goes into it. We start immediately when school starts. We start some things before the previous school year even ends, because homecoming is such a big thing, and the parade is really a big part of that and a big part of the spirit. But yeah, we do a lot of things. There's a lot of planning that goes into it.
Talk about your themes. How do you choose a theme for the parade? And in your spirit days of homecoming week, usually there are themes. What goes into that?
Normally for our spirit days, we Pep Club chooses it, and they put out ideas, and then we vote on it, or they vote on it. And then for the spirit or the theme of like homecoming in general, we normally come up with a few ideas and we vote on it as student council. Yeah.
Okay. Is that different for Northwest?
Yeah,
or-
so we have all school meetings. We try to have one like once a month, and everybody from Northwest is invited to come, like all grades, no matter what. Like they're all invited, and so we just basically talk about homecoming and like we ask them like, like what are some themes that you guys want to see for like spirit days and also just the parade themes. And then we have all these people come in and we write them down. And then we also have like publicists. So they post on the Instagram and are like, hey, swipe up with like any ideas you have. And then once we're in class, we look at it and we like see which ones are the most popular. And then from there, we have another poll out. So like say there's 4 really popular themes. And then we set out an Instagram poll and then we have everybody vote from there. So
social media is playing a big role.
yeah,
for
it
you.
does.
Okay.
100%.
So what was the theme?
So the theme this year was villains versus heroes.
Okay.
And that is
Okay.
very like broad, and obviously there's things like the MC universe. So we try to make it like you can only be one certain thing instead of like an entire group. That way because there's a lot of groups at Northwest in like sports and activities. So
Right.
we didn't want anybody to take an entire group and then that leaves all these other people to figure out like something else to do.
Sure. What about at South?
Our homecoming theme is There's No Place Like Homecoming, so it's Wizard of Oz themed.
Oh, very cool.
That's
cute.
Very cool. So, Natalia, you just mentioned something that I want to come back on. Having so many different groups, How do you guys include community in the parade? Are like alumni groups, are they allowed to have parades or floats in the parade? And then do you guys see a lot of like community members come out along the parade route and celebrate with you guys?
Yeah, I would say yes, because anybody can like sign up for the parade, and even if you don't have a float, that's okay. You can have walking groups, you just won't be involved in the actual float like competition. We have the students, and then everybody from like the neighborhoods or like family members that maybe have kids at Northwest, they all come and like line up, and it's just so fun to like see from sitting in a float or in a car or even walking too, like to see that everybody is there like supporting you.
That's cool.
So I know with Northwest, it's really nice that you have that Biddinghoven Elementary School right there, and so those kids tend to get to.
They love to see the parade and watch. It's so cute.
That's awesome. How about South?
Yeah, we have a lot of middle school and elementary school students come and watch too, and the high school students obviously, and parents. And similar to Northwest, we try and get every group and sport to have a float or a car or just walk in the parade so that everybody's involved.
So talk to us a little bit about both of you have mentioned elementary, middle school, community members, even neighbors that are able to come out and watch the parade. What's that mean for the community, and what's that mean for school spirit for you all?
I think it's really great just to start out, because I remember when I was in elementary school and middle school, going to the parade was so much fun, and I loved seeing all the high school students. They seemed so cool and like had so much energy, and it was really fun. So I think it's just really great to pass that down and to like get everyone excited to come to South.
Nice.
I personally never had to like gone to a parade, so I think it's cool that they get to experience that because I never got to. And I just think it's so like nice and welcoming because, like you said, the little kids, like they just get so excited and they're like, "Oh my God, you guys look so cool!" And it's just fun to like see as you pass by.
How's that excitement during homecoming week, during parade week, during a big game week? Take me back. Take me to Northwest. Take me to South. Talk with us about that excitement in the building. I was over at South earlier this week, and they've got door competitions going on, door decorations, and I could feel it a little bit, but I'm curious on just that excitement level during the week of homecoming and parade and all that.
Yeah, it's a really exciting week. We try and do as many activities as possible to get people really pumped up about it. Like you said, the door decorating competition. We have Spirit Week, which is really fun. Lots of people participate. And yeah, it's a really exciting week, and everyone is really excited for homecoming. It's one of my favorite weeks of the school year, personally. And I think everyone just really gets like surrounded around school spirit, and it's a really great week.
So I was there on Wednesday, and I think it was Barbie Day. Is that right?
Yes.
And you definitely saw a lot of participation. What was the most popular day of the week, would you say?
It might be Barbie Day. I saw a lot of pink in the hallways.
Okay.
It was a good day. Also, we had Kansas Day, so yeah, like school, like different colleges and like the Chiefs and the Royals. That was a pretty good one because everyone, or most everyone, has, shirts or something like that.
And you may or may not know the answer to this, but I noticed that Indian Woods also had Spirit Week. Was that tied with homecoming, or do you know?
Theirs might be tied with homecoming. I don't know if it is, but it might be.
So lots of great participation there as well. I saw 90s Day, and then I saw Cowboys versus Country Club. So there was some really fun entertainment there. But how about Northwest? What was the most popular Spirit Day, would you say?
I would say Western versus rock. So we had seniors and juniors dressed in Western clothing, and then sophomores and freshmen dressed in rock. And so I think those are like the most kind of fun days, and the most days that people participate is when we have like a little competition because, obviously everybody wants to win. So I would say those are the most popular days.
So since our last podcast, we had the Shawnee Mission Education Foundation breakfast, and one of the questions that the student from Trail Ridge Middle School asked me is, go back to your middle school self, and what would you tell yourself? So I'm going to ask you guys that question. I want you to go back to your middle school selves, and what would you tell all of your friends about high school and participating in student council or spirit club? Or what would you tell 7th and 8th graders to think about as they're coming to high school?
Yeah, I would just say participate as much as possible. I've made so many of my best friends in student council and in other groups that I'm a part of. And I just think like it's really, really fun to be a part of things in high school. It really gets you excited, something to look forward to. Like it's really fun. So I would just say, to the middle schoolers, look into sports, look into clubs going to high school, and it's a really fun time.
I would tell myself, like you said, to get involved because in middle school, there's not a lot you can get involved with anyways, but I just didn't really get out of my shell. And then freshman year came and then COVID happened, so I didn't get involved either. And then sophomore year, I was like, you know what, like I need to sign up for stuff. And so I did a bunch of things, and it was a little hard to manage at first, but it also told my middle school self, like, create a schedule because it is hard to manage.
Absolutely.
I love the conversation and getting involved, and one thing that's coming into my mind is just the high school experience, right? Like, our high school kids get 4 years to be in high school, and you only get to do it once, right? And just taking full advantage of that high school experience and doing everything that you can. And these events, these parades, the pep assemblies, yeah, they're not the curricular part of things, but they are such a huge and important part of that high school experience. And I can see it in your guys' faces, in the smiles that you guys have and the passion that you have for it. So I thank you guys for all the work that you put in to those events and making them as special and memorable as they are.
And I would just leave you all with this, like, we're all rushing to be adults, right? Rushing to get out of high school and go to college, but embrace this time. It's so awesome. And some of the best memories of my life, honestly, are high school, and I was a cheerleader, and parades, and homecoming week, and also part of student council and participating in creating those events. And some of my most grateful and wonderful friends are from high school still. And so I grew up in a small town, and the parade was a huge deal for us, always Friday before Labor Day, and it still is. And my nieces and nephews are actually enjoying those parades now. So just embrace it, enjoy it, and get your friends to embrace it as much as possible. It's some of the best times of your life. So
yeah, Jewel, Natalia, thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate you taking your time talking about your guys' schools and everything that's going on with homecoming week. So we really appreciate you guys.
Yes, thank you so much for being here today. Dr. Higgins, let's talk a little bit about our next episode. Episode 6 will be coming in a couple of weeks, and I know we're continuing to look for new ideas. Do you have any great ideas?
I was actually hoping, we've got a lot of listeners. Well, at least I think we have a lot of listeners. I was hoping maybe they would give us some feedback on what they're looking for and what they're hoping to hear from Shawnee Mission Mic'd Up. So just encourage everyone out there, if you have an idea, something that you want to hear, let us know. Drop us an email. We'd love to have any and all ideas about content for upcoming episodes.
Right, and I would just remind everyone that we do have a webpage at smsd.org. Our episodes drop every 2 weeks, and we're always looking for content. So you too, if you have any amazing content or things that you think we might, that our community might want to hear about, or students might want to hear about, there is an email address on that webpage where you can drop ideas. So we're always looking for that next great idea to talk about and really just share the amazing things that are happening in Shawnee Mission.
Yeah. And special shout out again to Logan DeAngelis for help with the music on the intro part of the episode. Thanks to our communications team for all the work that you guys do for Shawnee Mission Mic'd Up and making this what it is. And then quote for the episode, Dr. Hubbard, you want to take this one?
Sure, I'll take it. Don't let someone dim your light simply because it's shining in their eyes. So thank you all so much for joining us on Shawnee Mission Mic'd Up. And until next time, shine on, Shawnee Mission.